Alrighty. I'm so used to saying episodes, like saying, all right, this is episode, but it's not an episode.
We're so close to the actual episode.
I know.
Which one?
How about that Super Bowl commercial for The Walking Dead?
Oh, with the
Short
baseball
and
bat
sweet,
coming
yep.
deflate. There was a barbed wire baseball bat that just deflated a football.
Just put it into the ground, and it was like The Walking Dead. What was it, like footballs over?
Yeah, something playtime's
Walking
over
Dead
or something.
returns. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Negan's coming back to shut that shit down and all that.
He got stuck on the barbed wire, and he's like waving the bat around,
that
trying to get
funny.
the thing off.
Little pigskin.
JP is one of the only people that didn't watch the Super Bowl that I know. However, thank God he's not one of the hipsters that brags about it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And you do look like you're no worse for the wear for missing it.
No, it's just
okay.
it's too much excitement for me.
It was a very exciting game.
I need something nice and mellow at the end of the night. I think I watched
the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
You ever watch the Puppy Bowl while smoking marijuana?
I actually watched an old episode of Joan of Arcadia last night.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That only lasted like 2 seasons, didn't it? Jason Priestley was the devil.
You really want to get me started on that?
No, because we're talking about The Walking Dead.
And that was the best, probably, I'm not going to lie, that was probably the best commercial last night.
What, the Walking Dead ones?
No, The Walking Dead.
I didn't even really pay that much attention because it was just a bunch of guys drinking beer. So between the game, we would just be sitting there talking. I really didn't see many of the commercials except for like The Walking Dead. I saw one of the
they weren't that good.
One of the beer commercials. The one that I did really like, I think it was what was it? GoDaddy. I did like they had all the internet references.
Yeah.
That was really cool how they did that. I mean, they had pretty much everything that summed up the internet at this current time in one commercial. So that was cool.
I missed that commercial. Was there?
That was towards the beginning.
Was there people like arguing back and forth about their political views?
No,
because that would have been made it really realistic.
No. All right,
who does that on the internet? Get out of here.
Everybody. Now they've got something you can download to Google Chrome. It's an app that you can block political posts.
Good grief.
Somehow. So I'm probably going to do that because I am so tired of them. All right, so new listener, shout out.
New listener! Have you worked on that sound clip yet?
No, I need to.
It's been a busy weekend. I get it.
So Eagle Eye Cherry Pie.
Oh, it rhymes.
Welcome. I like that. And I like Eagle Eye Cherry, so that works.
Save tonight.
But Eagle Eye Cherry is actual thing?
I actually worked with a guy who recorded the guitar on the Save Tonight song.
Oh, really? Save Tonight.
Oh, I thought it was like a specific cherry you just thought was extra succulent.
Eagle Eye Cherry with real bits of eagle in every bite.
Oh, boy.
All right, so moving on into Amethyst Love 33. We've got your necklace on the way. I promise.
Send pics or it didn't happen.
Pics of what?
Of her wearing the necklace.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
And only the never mind.
I tried to just make it nice, and I tried.
I went there.
I tried. I've missed you. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Denise Washington, what do we think of the Carl Negan relationship, and where's it going? Well, if it's going to follow the comic, it's going to be a very complicated relationship. It's like If it's not on Facebook, it didn't happen.
It's complicated,
but it's very. I don't know. Like Carl really starts enjoying conversation with Negan, but still will kill him at any opportunity he has. Like he even tells him at some point, he's like, Negan is giving him, I think, like girl advice or something, and he says something about, "Are we friends now?" or something, and Carl's like, I'm still going to kill you one day.
I would love to have a conversation with Negan about like where babies come from.
Yeah, that would be an interesting.
His euphemisms would be on point.
Every time I see these, a lot of John Hamm commercials are out there now.
Yeah, the TurboTax.
And every time I see them, I'm like, it could have been. You could have been Negan. Just the more I look at them, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm very happy with what we've got. But it's kind of like when you're in a relationship and you're in a happy relationship, but it's okay to look every once in a while. That's where I feel like I'm doing with John Hamm. I'm like, I'm really happy with Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. However, I would have loved to have seen him play Negan because I can see it.
He was in some other commercial last night. It was some kind of not mobile strike, but it was some kind of one of those game apps, like Game of War or something. He was dressed up like a knight. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's been in a lot. I'm seeing him pop up on TV all the time.
I'm trying to watch Solace right now, where he's a detective and Anthony Hopkins is a psychic. And then what's the other dude's name? Colin Farrell is another psychic, but he's the bad guy. I just got into it. It's pretty intense. Looks pretty good.
As a TV show?
Yeah, no, it's a movie. And it's weird listening to him because he sounds like Negan without the southern accent. Because there's a little bit of like southern drawl.
What's the name of the movie?
Solace. It just came out last year. I mean, it's like a murder mystery, supernatural kind of thing. So I just got it yesterday.
I love Sir
Check it
Anthony
out.
Hopkins.
He's good.
That much.
He's going to be in the new Transformers. It seems.
He is.
He's all over the place.
Right, Westworld.
So the Carl Negan thing, I hope they explore that on the show the way they do in the comic, because it's a very interesting relationship. And if you read the comics, I think JP and I are going to start doing podcasts on the comics. We had said once a month when the new issues come out, we'll kind of do a review of that.
And we can sit in here and just read them to each other.
Yeah.
And talk,
So what you do normally, just with microphones, like recording.
Right.
Yeah, but,
sometimes it's really weird when you guys are over here, like, whispering to each other about, like, in the comics.
We'll, like, get up under his desk.
That sounds like
a
jealousy.
Fort.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I just don't appreciate when it's complete silence and all of a sudden I hear you two go, whoa! And I was like, I want to be in on it.
Yep.
Well, you read the new issue.
I did. And that was the highest selling issue of any Image comic in history.
Well,
the top
when you drop
grossing
them
highest selling,
25
right?
cents.
I would buy plenty. Dude, your weekly bill for comics would be like $3.
Oh yeah,
if comics were 25 cents.
And back in the day, that was like an average price. You know, they were cheap. But so in the comics, Negan's just got an interesting relationship with everyone. Right now, he's got a very interesting relationship with Rick. I won't spoil it, but things are growing between him and Rick to an extent. So Carl and Negan's relationship, I hope they explore that in the show. It'd be really cool. Jeep says, in regards to Eagle Eye, I could totally see Lori doing that, maybe even getting herself pregnant. Okay, so what Eagle Eye had said, if Lori was still alive to meet Negan, how do you think she'd interact with him? I could totally see her volunteering basically to be one of his wives. She'd at least, constantly compare Rick's leadership abilities to Negan. I don't know. I disagree. The way they wrote Lori, I don't see. I mean, she did jump ship to Shane, but I mean, you got to consider the circumstances. She thought Rick was dead. I mean, this was the guy that saved her and her son, got him out of the city, and was like the leader of this group. So naturally, she probably would fall for him. But
not to mention his killer body.
And don't get me wrong, I did not like Lori. I did not like Lori one bit. Her and Andrea were like two of my least favorite characters on this show. But I don't think that she would have just jumped to being one of Negan's wives. That's just my opinion. Jeep agrees and says that he could totally see her doing that, getting pregnant, and So yeah, who knows? So I don't
getting
think
pregnant with Negan's kid. Would she do that as a ploy, or would she just be lost in love? Like, would it be all part of her end game?
The way they're describing it would just be a ploy to basically have Negan under her thumb.
And
like I said, she might would do that. I just didn't. I didn't like Lori, but I didn't think that she would. Because I mean, once Rick was back, you see, she refused to return back to Shane. I mean, if her loyalty to Rick is at question, I mean, she'd been banging Shane out in the woods, and the second Rick came back, she had nothing to do with Shane. He even tried to get it on with her in that underground, that bunker or whatever at the CDC.
So
and if she were like a treacherous, cheating woman, I feel like that's when she would have. I mean, she'd been banging Shane, so she knew she was enjoying it. She probably would have jumped right back to it. But once Rick was alive, she was extremely loyal to Rick and pissed at Shane. So I don't think Lori would necessarily jump ship like that. But who knows?
If it was part of a plan, I could see her doing it.
Yeah,
that's
like
what I thought
Rick
he meant.
being in on. No, I think she's talking about just Lori being just jumping ship.
Being a big old hoe.
So moving on to Christian. Anthus says that things aren't that easy in bigger groups. I read that comment, and I do agree. However, I still believe in strength in numbers, but that's just difference of opinion. Because what I said earlier was that obviously it would be you'd have more mouths to feed, you'd have more people to take care of, but at the same time, you'd be better prepared if someone wanted to screw with you. I mean, it's
group
perks.
Will always eat its own, that's for sure.
It's pros and cons to each. Some people are more the solitary kind. Some people are more the group kind. I think it just depends on what kind of system you can work out. Some people can take a big group and do really good. Some people turn into like Governor and Negans. I guess it just depends on you and how power affects you. But yeah, so no, I would like a big group, but it just would depend on the circumstances. If we were constantly moving, I don't think I would want no more than like 10 people.
I couldn't do it. I mean, you guys heard about the Donner Party. They were eating little kids and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they did.
That would eventually happen.
That was a buffet for them.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to eat some little baby like a rotisserie chicken. You guys maybe. You guys would probably love it. But not JP.
You talking to them or just
I'm talking to everyone.
We know
who's
he's kind of went off into his own world when he starts referring to himself in third person.
Right. Like, no joke though. It's just like what if dog tasted good? Like people, and we just eat it like it was nothing. Or like baby. What if baby tasted good? No one knew. Just no one's eat a baby.
I bet it's really tender.
Matt, are you encouraging the listeners to go out and try to eat a baby?
Not at all. I want to preface
Because
this
I
by
certainly
saying,
as hell am not. Don't you dare go.
Let me make it
cooking
perfectly
some
clear.
Baby because
no one cook a baby and eat it, please. You serve it raw and chilled. But you don't. I'm just kidding.
Like
But yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
But yeah, a big group could be a pain in the butt. I mean, don't get me wrong. I completely agree. Like when he says more people, but say they're hungry, supplies are scarce, and you come upon a smaller group that has what you need. Do you take it? I don't want to say whether I could or not because you don't know how you'll be
Right?
until you're in that scenario. I want to say I try to be a good person and maybe make friends with them. Maybe our larger number would show them that we could easily take it, and maybe being that we show them a bit mercy. Hopefully they'll give us some food, but I don't know. I mean, when you get in that scenario, we might all become the governor or Negan and just take it. I mean,
Like
I don't know. I want to try to take the high road, but I can't promise. I don't know.
Everybody's just one bad day away from becoming someone like the Joker or something like that. Is basically what you're saying. So, like, what if you come across a group, you're kind of scarce and they have no food. And they're like, sir, we need your help. You try to help them, but then they rob you. And then the next small group you come across, you're like, well, screw this. This isn't going to happen again. So then you're just like, give me all your stuff. So so like you said, just it all depends on the
It
situation.
all depends. I like that. I mean, I try to live. I would try to take the high road as much as I could, but I mean, I don't know. If I had a kid, which I don't, but if I had a kid, it might be different. You probably would watch the world burn to feed your kid. It all just depends on scenario, circumstances and different scenarios. Joyce Stone says, do any of you think Rick sees himself as a criminal despite having to do things outside of the law to survive?
At this point, I don't think it's that cut and dry.
I don't think Rick doesn't seem like he reflects on himself like the way Carol does. Carol's written down everybody she's killed. It eats away at her so much that she kind of has went off to be a hermit. Whereas I don't think Rick's even really thought about
his responsibilities
whether he's a criminal or not. I think he's just trying to keep people alive.
Right. He wants nothing. Like you said, he's not internalizing himself. He is paying attention to what the group is doing and what they need to do to survive.
It'd be interesting to explore that in the future of the show, to maybe have Rick reflect on himself a little bit and see how he sees himself, how Carl might see him, which I think Carl still overall sees him kind of as a hero. But, I mean, we know Carl has not always felt that way.
If they were going to do an introspective, like Rick montage, I wonder what song they would use. Man in the Mirror? I don't know.
American, what's that song? Fight for the rights of every man. You know what I'm talking about?
That's Hulk Hogan's old intro
right? That's what it would
song,
be. Yeah, man. WWF, like WrestleMania.
Oh, boy.
That's just my thoughts, though.
Okay. I'd have to think on that. I don't know what Rick's song would be.
Maybe like the British Parliament. Like,
London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah, there we go.
So if it was like an episode of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Walker, Texas Ranger, they totally have a scene like
Oh
that.
my god, probably some gospel song or something.
Somebody's theme song would need to be Down with the Sickness by Disturbed. I mean, Zombie's sick. That just fits.
I like to see Jesus' theme song be that.
I don't know. I don't see Jesus as a metal guy.
I do.
Which brings us to another good question. I'm skipping one. I'm going back to the next two, but that's a good segue here. KK Bacon asks, what kind of music do we think Daryl would listen to?
I thought you did that on purpose. I thought you brought that up on purpose. That was a good segue.
No, yeah,
that was
it
good.
just works.
Nice.
Years of radio,
I know.
man.
I feel like
just
you've done this
happens.
before.
It happens. But I agree with what I saw in the comments. Things like Old Johnny Cash,
Merle Haggard.
It's hard to say with Daryl because the thing is, it's just like when people are like, do you think he's gay or do you think he's, I don't think that Daryl is a character written to really be in relationships and to have, I don't know, he doesn't really have his, we haven't seen much. Like we know Rick likes old jazz when they were in the car together, and Daryl didn't seem to like that one bit.
I imagine Daryl would have an iPod of like different songs, but they're all labeled different, but they're all Easy Street. So you just can't get enough of it.
I think the cliche thing being he's a redneck and he's all backwoods is that people think he would like old Johnny Cash and stuff. But I mean, that's not always the case. I mean, JP likes old country, and when I met JP, I would have never guessed that.
You never would have thought. I think he listened to like Slipknot and Papa Roach. All that stuff.
I could see that. I could actually see
a little bit of everything.
Being
Probably some
into
Vivaldi,
like Nirvana, like
Three
alternative
tenors.
rock.
That'd be nice.
Maybe he was just a big NPR listener, and once that was gone, it was just like no more
this
Radio
American
for
life,
me.
you can't get any more of it. So
No.
what are you going to do?
So I don't know, that's a very interesting question on what kind of music Daryl would listen to, because I mean Daryl's evolved. It's hard. We got to think. What you really have to do is think back to season 1 Daryl, because that's pretty much who he was left over from the real world. The Daryl we have now is this evolved survival mode Daryl, so we can't really judge based on this personality what he would. You know what I mean? Like you've got to think back to, and when of season 1 he was just this redneck white trash prick. So I mean I could see him. You know who I could have seen him listening to?
Tell me.
Hank the Third.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
In
yeah.
season 1, Daryl, I could see Hank the Third,
That's
because
funny.
Hank the Third is just kind of an asshole, and Daryl was an
Rockabilly
asshole.
kinda.
Not kind of. Hank the Third is an asshole, and Daryl is an asshole. So I could see that going together back then.
Definitely some Leonard Skinner.
Definitely
some
Skinner.
in there.
I see
Def
him
Lepp.
more as a stereotypical redneck back then. Maybe some White Snake, like 80s
Yep.
hairband rock. I
Oh,
mean, a
God.
lot of your.
AC/DC.
Oh, yeah.
Van Halen, not Van Hagar.
I still, one of my favorite songs by Van Halen, unpopular opinion, is Why Can't This Be Love? I know
That's a
it's
good- I
Sammy
like that
Hagar, but
She's got what it takes. So tell me why can't this be love?
I love that song. When it comes on, I just get.
I'll
it's such a
tell you
good
why
mood.
this can't be love. Because
Why?
you never want to cuddle at the end of the night.
Is that yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew
What's
you
your
guys
opinion?
seemed a lot closer than
Whatever.
You know.
Saw you guys reading
his
comics in
rocks
here
off
by
and
yourself,
then,
so I had to.
But we certainly
jump in.
weren't. There certainly was.
You guys have your comic thing. We have our thing.
You have your cuddle thing. That's,
Leave it alone.
that's cute. All right, so moving forward, Joyce. Well, no, we already did Joyce Stone.
Do it again. Here we go.
Alwyn Curry. All right, so you asked a lot of questions, and we are super, super, super excited and happy for your enthusiasm and that you are so into our podcast. Please keep asking these questions, but do us a favor, because we get notifications every time someone comments. Put them all into one comment.
That might help.
Just give it a day. Think of all of these, and then just leave us one long comment with all of your
So I
what
guess
ifs.
he's just kind of commenting as he listens to the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So write those down, and then it'll be easier on us too to find them all together than going through.
It was. I opened it up the first day, and we had 25 comments in less than 12 hours. I was like, oh wow, people are talking, and then a lot of it was all one, and a lot of the things we have covered in previous podcasts. So feel free to go back. Hours of listening pleasure await you at the Podcasting Dead.
And so he asked, what if Schubert was a main character, and this is one of the Woodbury people with the bow and arrow. This is the stocky fellow that
And
was
he
with
didn't
Negan at the
even
beginning.
he didn't even die on screen. He died. They just talked about how he died. or
Martinez talked about him dying. I mean, I don't know. He wasn't really a character that we got to know at all. A better question would be what if Martinez would have survived and found Rick? Would he have joined up with Rick? Because Martinez, he seemed kind of evil, but I think, once he saw the governor was just on a whole nother level of evil, he just was like, I don't want any part of this. I don't mind.
He's like Diet Dwight.
Diet Dwight.
I call him Diet Dwight. Because he knows that something's up, but he's going to rise up.
Speaking of that, have you guys tried the new Mountain Dew? And not like a new
No,
flavor,
you were
but
telling
just,
me this at the gym.
Gosh,
Go on.
like Mountain Dew, they have new labels on it, and the color's a little brighter, but the taste is just bland as all get
no. I
out.
don't
Yeah,
even drink
JP's
sodas,
not
so
happy about
I'm
it.
sorry.
Luckily, the
Oh.
Mountain Dew that I bought when I went grocery shopping the other week still has
Get the darker
Is it
label.
diet or is it
No, but
regular?
it tastes diet. It's got no pop to it.
I think it's because
No,
the
wait, whoa,
whole
whoa, whoa.
sugar.
It has no what? Do that again.
It's got no pop to it.
Shots fired. Man down.
Oh,
Wow,
geez.
that was amazing.
Maybe they took out that chemical that, as we were kids, everyone told you your pecker would shrink.
Yellow
shrink.
5.
Yeah, maybe they took that out. Maybe we need it. I don't know. This big old hog. Well, I was gonna make fun
Maybe
of
you
how
need it.
big
Sometimes
I was.
you're too big.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you're just too big. Yeah, I get
But
it.
that's hardly the case. I'm not
And
too
we're
big
back
at all.
to
Yeah, what a
talking about
fortunate
dicks
life.
here on the podcasting bed.
Yeah.
Somehow it always comes full circle, and penises are the
My
subject of
goodness.
discussion.
Wow.
But yeah, so no, I hadn't tried one of those Mountain Dews. I'll make sure to not grab one because I like the crispness of regular Mountain Dew. So my favorite is the high voltage Mountain Dew. Though. That's my
the
favorite.
orange one?
No,
Which one's the high voltage
the
one?
blue one.
Live wires. There's so many. Well, I remember literally I was like 12 years old, and this guy came to our church rolling in a big case. He worked for Pepsi. And just big crate. He's like, this is a new cherry flavored Mountain Dew that they've got coming out.
Code
And it was called
Red.
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And I sipped it. And it was like that scene where somebody has coffee for the first time and they go, ding.
Yeah.
Love affair.
I love the Code Red. I
Love
did
Code
not
Red.
like the orange one.
No, Livewire was not good.
I like they had some come out for Halo 3, I think.
Game Fuel or something. That's like a cherry.
Those
weird
were really good. But
What else is there?
High
Whiteout.
Voltage is my favorite.
Whiteout is a good one. And God, they got so many. What was it? Black Knight or what is it? Dark? No, what is
Black
it?
Knight was
Night
really,
Out?
that was like a blackberry.
Blackout. Blackout.
Yeah, I don't know the
it?
exact flavor, but that was good. It was kind
Bubble
of
gum
a
or
bitter,
something.
tangy,
Man, they really
sour, tart taste. I really
You guys
liked
are
it.
really connoisseurs.
Yeah, man. They're getting
We're just really unhealthy.
Baja Blast.
That's one that everyone loves. They go to Taco Bell and get it, and every time someone's like, dude, I love Baja Blast, I'm just like, ugh.
Pretty sure it's a mental thing because Taco Bell's the only place you can get it. Like, it was specifically made for Taco Bell. They recently came out, put it in bottles, but it's like a limited time thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things, the less that you have of it or the more difficult it is to get it, then the more someone's going to love it. If it was
Right.
widely available, people would be like, yeah, Baja
Speaking of
Blast,
hard
whatever.
to get, Taco Bell had these, and then we'll get back. We'll return to your regular scheduled program after this. Taco Bell had these double layer. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
you saw them for $1.
Yeah, the
they had the cool
double-decker things,
habanero, the
Don't say it.
the nacho cheese, and the sweet.
Where are you going
sweet.
with this?
They're gone.
What?
At least around here, they're
Are
gone.
you serious?
And see, that's what they're doing. They'll bring them back, so they'll sell a buttload of them. But they were the best value for $1, man.
And this
they
chicken
were so
thing,
good. So I've
not
got a
good.
beef with Taco Bell.
And it's only
no
like
pun
60%
intended.
beef.
And the rest is
40%, yeah, or yoga mat.
and babies.
Right. Bringing it back.
So
That makes me
I'm
sad,
very
man.
mad. Yeah, well, I was going through there getting like 3 or 4 at a time for my lunch, and I'm like, this is amazing.
$5 bill and I'm full. Like,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, it's sad.
So it's gone now.
But they had that chicken taco, the thing with the chicken on the outside. It's a chicken shell.
I hadn't tried the
Don't
naked
try it.
chicken.
Yeah,
It's not good?
Not good at all. It's like lettuce and tomato and cheese and like this guacamole ranch or avocado ranch or something. And the outside, it's just not good.
They've got a steak and cheese taco there.
Oh, I bet
That's
they-
actually really good. It's pretty filling.
Okay.
It's really. But anyways, back
I bet
to.
they miss Taco Bell in The Walking Dead.
Oh my God, that'd probably be. They would be like, "What do you miss about the old world?" I'd be like Taco Bell and Monster.
Daryl was like, I had a dog meat sandwich the other day, tasted just like Taco Bell.
I like to close my eyes and pretend it's chalupa. I put grass in there as like lettuce.
All the things you'd have to get to make it like what it is. That's so funny.
Oh
Instead
man,
of tomatoes, I put
feel
rocks.
I like to feel the crunch between my teeth. Oh. Daryl, that's gravel.
He has gotten a sense of taste that is unrivaled now.
I mean, I don't think he ever had one out the gate. This dude's like eating raw snakes and what was he? Which squirrels?
Yeah, probably
squirrels are.
gamey.
They kind of gamey. Yeah, squirrel gravy is good, but squirrel meat itself.
You got to
is just
make
a little
gravy out of it. Yeah, man,
Which I
we
guess if
are
that's all
Southern
you've got.
pride, bro.
I ain't never had no squirrel gravy.
You ain't
You've
never had no squirrel gravy?
gravy.
I never
really?
have.
You
Oh,
said
man.
that the most Southern you could say. I ain't never had no squirrel gravy.
I ain't never
never
had
had
no
it.
squirrel gravy.
Lord bless your heart.
Oh,
That's what you
Lord.
say. Oh Lord. Yeah. I just want you to know that even when you're not here, you are here in spirit. Because if something happens,
am I
and-
doing?
If something happens and it deserves a reaction, then Justin and I will go, "Oh Lord,
Oh Lord, have
and then we
mercy.
just look at each other like, "Yep, JP's right here, looking like a dead Jedi."
And then we come to the scary realization that you probably are there staring through the window with your pants down, and we just kind of lock ourselves in our
Why are your
studios.
pants always down?
Don't worry about it.
Like I said, you're okay until he starts referring to
right.
himself in third
I've
person.
been meaning to tell you, you need to drink more Mountain Dew.
That's
by the
when
way.
you need. You need more Yellow 5 from what I've seen.
Maybe you should drink less Mountain Dew. That's what I meant to say. That would have been better.
All right, so getting back on track.
Oh, good.
Michonne Grimes says, what about surviving in an old military academy?
Yeah, and you made a good point about this before we started.
Yeah, I think that it's one of those things like the naked chicken taco. It sounds good when you think about it, but then when you exit. A military academy, not most of them. I'm sure they keep some weapons, but I mean, a lot of those are just that. They're like schools. They really teach more the military like discipline and things like that more than they do like combatants. So I don't think that you would have. I mean, it'd be a great building, I'm sure, just like any school would be. However, things to consider, just like a high school or a school, there's going to be probably a lot of zombies there. A lot, because it's a school, just like you wouldn't go into a high school because it's going to be a lot of kids.
Which I feel like at the high school, it depends. If there was a national emergency, that they would let the kids out.
Well,
but like
it
a
depends
military
on the
academy,
well, it depends on
Like
the
they're
zombie.
actually living
yeah,
there.
military academy, they'd be living there.
Yeah, and it just depends on the outbreak and how fast it is, because they try to evacuate the kids. But if it was spreading too fast, like DayZ, not DayZ, is it DayZ? No. that's the video game.
Days
What's
Gone,
the Brad
World War Z.
World War Z, like that thing spreads fast. So I mean, all it would take is one kid to get bit, and attempts to evacuate, that whole place would be covered in zombies in a matter of minutes.
I'm so glad we don't have World War Z
so
zombies.
it just
in Walking Dead.
those are the ones where I'm just
zombies that run. It's like I can't even run as a normal person.
The the World War Z zombies y'all were talking about me helping you survive that one. It'd be like, so Justin, what do we do? Well, I would suggest the 45 or the 50 would probably take most of your head off. You wouldn't feel it. I'm out. I'm not dealing with this shit. But those zombies are, and like the 28 days later zombies, 28 weeks later, whatever, where he's like running through the field. That still gives me chills, man. But yeah, a military academy, I think I honestly would probably stay away because you would have, I'm sure you would have a lot of zombies there, and it really wouldn't be. I mean, you might have food there. You got to think they do feed these kids.
Commissary, yeah.
But I don't think you'd really have that much as far as weaponry. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I've never been to a military academy before. I know a couple of people that have been to like VMI, and they never really talked much about guns or.
We're gonna be in big trouble if Michonne Grimes is like head mistress of some military academy.
The gold mine, if what would be considered a gold mine would be if for some reason, I don't know why this would happen, if your local like National Guard armory were to just be abandoned. Like if you could, like there's one down where I live. I live like 30 minutes from you two, but there's in my town there's actually an armory right there in the middle of town. It's functional. It's National Guard Armory. I mean, it's stocked full of MREs and like guns and supplies.
I think in the comic, didn't Rick and them raid like that? And that's where the governor got his tank from.
They blew up the fuel depot or whatever, too.
Right.
That's what kind of started their little conflict, wasn't it? Like, wasn't that part of what started?
Help, yeah.
But if you could find one of those, but I mean, I feel like
that didn't help either.
No. I feel like though that would pretty much be abandoned because I mean that's your military. They're sending them in there to get their weapons. They're out and they're combating this thing. So I mean, combating this thing. So I really don't know that. I don't know, but if you could find an abandoned, and I don't know why it would be. Let's just say they were all outside playing volleyball. That's a Top Gun. That's Top Gun reference.
I got you.
If they were all outside and just say like the zombies just swarmed and they didn't have a chance to get back inside, then the herd just like cleared off. Then you'd be set. I mean, just fortify the building and you're good to go. But any building where there's a lot of people regularly is going to be dangerous. Like I said, Walmart, that would be dangerous. A warehouse. That would be a great place to find, but I feel like it would be filled with people.
Oh, God, yeah.
And what I had read online one time, too, anywhere you think sounds like a good place to go probably isn't because other people have thought that way.
Oh.
You go, I'm going to go to Walmart, food, weapons. Yeah, you and about 10,000 other people have had that thought, and you're going to have to fight when you get there. If you're even in time, it might have been cleared out. The best thing to do is just to find something that is overlooked easily, lay low, and
I'd build a tree house. I mean,
no
zombies
doubt.
come, you just pull up that rope ladder.
A tree village, like on what was that movie with Seth Green where they were in the trees? Was that Without a Paddle? No. Without a Paddle wasn't the hippie chicks were in the trees and they had like the tree village
with what's that, Dax Shepard and what's it, Matthew Lillard? Is that it?
That would be the absolute best thing as far as avoiding zombies. It would be the absolute worst thing, however, if you were discovered.
Zombie squirrels.
No, that would be terrible.
Squirrels.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
If zombies discovered you there, you'd be up shit creek because I mean they're just going to be they're not going anywhere if they know you're there. So you're eventually going to run out of supplies. B, it would suck though if like an enemy faction found you. I mean all they got to do is light the bottom of the trees on fire and it's jump.
But you can pee on them, and there's nothing they can do.
That is true.
There is always that. I'm going to burn to death in an extremely excruciatingly painful way, but before I go, I will piss on your face.
And it's so smelly when you pee on a fire, if that's how you're trying to put it out.
I can't remember the last time I peed on a fire, man.
Yeah.
I don't know I'm sure I've done it before. I'm a guy. I've peed on a lot of things.
And it's come back around to...
Were you expecting something different? I don't know.
Somewhat of a penis conversation. We're talking about urinate, but
You seem slightly surprised, but slightly tired, so I don't know.
I drink. I stayed up too late and drink too many beers. When I have to get up early, I should never drink beer because it just makes me sleep so hard that getting up is a struggle. It was a Super Bowl. You can't not drink beer.
They had something called rum shots at the party that I went to last night. There was little bitty cups with chocolate and vanilla in one, and chocolate in one, vanilla in the other, and they were like rum. I don't know, some kind of liquor, but it was. I had about 5 of those, and that was it for me.
Yeah.
She was like, after about 3 of them, she was like, those are a lot stronger than you think. And I was like, I'll be fine. And then 2 more. I was like, I'm fine.
Well, a little bit fun.
I'm going to go lay down for a minute.
Yeah, I know you're known to do that one.
Oh, yeah, man. Just peace out.
Matt and I were drinking together at a company function the other night.
Yep.
And, I was like, I'm always like one of the last ones to stay up. Like, we're going to stay up, we're going to party. And then, like at a very reasonable, mature time, Matt just disappears.
Oh.
But I did tell you that I'm prone to doing that. So I tried. But, yeah. No, it was like 11:30. I just sat down. And it was one of those things where when you close your eyes, everything is spinning. And when you open your eyes, everything is spinning. And you're like, I just want things to stop for a minute. But you can't rest because when you close your eyes again, everything starts spinning again.
They used to say the best thing to do is put your foot down, right?
Yeah, lay in the
That's
bed,
what they
put one
say.
foot on the floor.
No.
Didn't help.
For me, it's like slamming the brakes and everything. I remember being at my friend's house. I wasn't but like 20, like 19 or 20, too young to be drinking. And I mean, I was just, wasted. And I was laying on his couch. And there was this kid that wasn't even drinking or anything. Like, I don't even know really why he was there. But he was sitting on the other couch. And, like, I was sitting there and everything was spinning. And I thought about my friend saying, you just got to put your foot down. So I did it. And it's like the world stopped too quick. I did it, and in one motion, I stomped the floor and just yacked everywhere.
Dude, I bet that's why that guy was there, to see something like that happen.
And then he was like, and what's so bad is he just looks at me and he's like, don't worry, man, I'll clean it up. I'm like, you're an angel.
Maybe he was. Did anybody remember him at this party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was saying maybe he was your guardian angel.
I think he just enjoyed hanging around the older kids. I don't know.
Okay.
But he helped clean it up. I tried.
Nice guy.
I think
I was in no condition
I actually
to clean
think
it
he
up.
just took paper towel. Never mind. We won't get into that. Anyways.
The old just throw them on top. And just,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm sure someone will that'll soak right up. It'll be fine.
So if you get a little too intoxicated and you feel the world spinning around you, just beware that 1 foot rule may work for you, or it may do the exact opposite of what you wanted it to do.
Either way, go out there, get super. All of our folks are over 21. Get super hammered and then try it out.
We'll see. What's so bad is I was about to say, but I've just learned in my mature age to just drink responsibly and know your limits.
Mm-hmm. You always got to know your limits,
especially with whiskey. Like, I can just tell the way they start tasting, if they get smoother and smoother as we go. It's like, okay, all right, now.
I will say that you are a fun drunk.
Thank you.
You are just a happy go. Like, literally, some people either get into their emotions or get like angry or something, but you get happier.
Oh, I told you,
drunk.
me drinking whiskey or beer really is
straight
like,
up. Nobody in your life just comes up, puts their arms on your shoulder, just like, you're awesome, and here's why. And it's like, oh, okay, just list why I'm awesome. Thanks. Like, it was really cool.
When I drink, my drunk is much more like most people stoned. But,
and that was the first time that I'd ever been drunk with you, so it was really exciting. It was very exciting. We got to listen to our boss sing 70-year-old boss sing Gin and Juice.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was really exciting. Did we talk about that last week?
No, we didn't.
Okay, because I wanted to it was really fun. Probably one of the highlights of my life.
Last week.
I don't know, man.
All right, so Nayala. How do we say
she
that?
was nice enough to actually put the pronunciation down
Yes,
on
she
the paper.
wasn't she? Nayala.
Nayala.
Like okay, cool.
It's very
pretty, very pretty. Nayala says, let's move on to a more important question and fangirl question. Will Daryl and Jesus hook up? I don't think that, I'm sure that everybody would love to see that. Maybe they'll go that route, but I think Daryl was that character they created to not have a relationship.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Chewbacca in The Walking Dead.
Chewbacca wasn't getting
He
laid?
just makes really weird noises, and No,
Chewbacca had a family. Chewbacca had a wife and like 3 kids. You ever seen the Star Wars Christmas special?
I actually thought Chewbacca maybe was a female Wookiee. We never knew it. And he and Han were,
It's just one of those things where you develop the
he
character.
Were female, it wouldn't be he and Han. It would be she and Han.
Well, however you want to put it. I'm not
She
good
and Han sounds like a really good band name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Hanshi.
Hanshi. Oh, that sounds like a TV show.
That sounds like a street fighting move. Hanshi.
Hanshi. That's good. That's good.
But yeah, no, I like I said, I don't think that Daryl, and I mean, if they're going to put Daryl in any kind of relationship, I really feel like it would be with Carol. If there's going to be anybody, I think Carol and Ezekiel may. I really feel like if they were going to go the relationship route, they would just go Carol and Daryl.
I don't even think they'll really make it anything like a relationship thing about Jesus either.
Yeah. Well, I think because they hadn't. Spoiler alert! If you don't want to know what happens in the comics, or you read the comics, tune away and come back in about 20 seconds. In the comics, they do it the same way. You go for a while and you just think Jesus is just some rugged guy, and then randomly he's in bed. I think that what they're going to do is, I do think they will reveal he's gay. But it's kind of
It'll be one of those things where they're not trying to like make it all about that.
That's what The Walking Dead does. They don't make the relationships like we've seen with Rick and Michonne. It's there, but it's not like
it's not all about that.
Yeah, it's like this isn't Beverly Hills 90210. This is The Walking Dead. But I do think they'll show us Jesus is gay for several reasons. One, to just show that we've got a character that's not the stereotypical gay guy, but he's gay and he's very, it's kind of like a score for the gay community. It's like we've got this character that's awesome. Everybody loves him. He kicks ass, and hey, he's gay. But I don't think they'll like dwell on it, making it like a huge thing. Like you'll find out he's gay, and then that was a lot longer than 20 seconds. So if you tune back in to spoilers, I apologize.
They'll find out he's gay.
I do think Jesus will see, and then in the comics they don't hit on it a lot. I mean, you see it a little bit. Like you just all of a sudden he's in bed with a guy talking.
It was a lot like how they revealed Willem Dafoe was gay in Boondock Saints.
All of a sudden,
he's
so funny.
in bed with a dude.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
because it's not about that. It's about the character, and so I get that. Yeah.
And so down the road, you see where like he might flirt with a guy or whatever, but it's never like a big centerpiece. Just like many relationships in this show aren't, in the comics. So I think we'll see Jesus as gay. I don't think Daryl was written to have a sexuality. I think he's just there
asexual?
to be like I said. I just think he's like the Chewbacca man.
Pansexual? What is it?
I don't know.
There's like 23 different types of sexual something.
And they keep coming up with new ones every day.
Miley Cyrus identifies as a butterfly right now. So
are you serious?
I don't know. I
Oh,
made
that
that up.
wouldn't
But it sounded
surprise me,
right.
yeah.
Sounded real. That's the state that we live in.
Yeah.
I could tell you, I could make up something as crazy as that.
Wake
And it
up and
sounds
go,
true.
I feel like I want to be a rich person who doesn't work.
I feel like that just about every day. God.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could happen, and if it did, good for Daryl and Jesus. But and they hadn't really. I don't know. I don't think Daryl and Jesus did have a rough start, so it would be kind of the cliche, like they start off on a wrong foot and then end up in love. But
Star-crossed lovers.
I just think Daryl is more.
She's go moi.
Yes,
Did I?
It's not the first time he's done that on this podcast either.
Was he looking at you or me when he
You.
did that? Oh, I
Always
thought so.
at you.
I felt his stare. But the lips were blowing
Always
at you,
at
but
you.
the eyes were looking at me. So that's what
those lips,
there's
the lips
enough to
and
go
the
around.
eyes were
Everything
both
was
aimed
it
at you.
me?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
he was
okay.
cocked and loaded.
Look,
And I
oh.
did say the word
Yeah,
cock
was
just to
that
add
you
that in
did.
there.
All right.
More than
So now you brought it around.
There
Hey.
you go. So JP's head's in his hand right now.
Oh, Lord.
I
I'm
can
gonna
see
stay here
I
the
can see
rest of
he's
the
peeking
podcast.
through his fingers though, and he's looking at you, man. Oh man. So hey, let's talk about our live podcast, which will be this Sunday?
Oh my God! Is this Sunday?
It really? We're going to be doing a live, possibly and probably video podcast.
That's exciting.
Because if not, then we could have just done it here. So it really would be pointless to do it live from the man cave if we don't do video. So we're going to do video. You'll see JP's face. Matt and I have toyed with the idea of wearing masks.
I'm wearing
not
a
for
mask.
any reason. Just it's fun to keep some like.
I'm going to wear a fake
mystery,
beard
but-
and a mask.
You don't need a fake beard.
That's what's
though.
funny about it. Thank you. Because I'll
But
just peel it off. I'll
you've-
take that silly thing off, and I'll peel it off. It'll still be a beard.
You've
right
already
there.
got a beard.
I know. I'm pretty excited. I messed up the other day. I was trimming, and my guard fell off, and I just went
I've done that.
took a big chunk right out of the side.
I did that with my hair one time.
Yeah. Oh no, man.
Like I used to buzz my hair like a 2 maybe, just real. And then I forgot to put the guard on at all, and I just went.
Oh,
"Nyen."
yes.
I mean, I was basically like a quarter of a quarter inch from just like picking my head, which would not have worked.
Sometimes this sucker is so frustrating. I really want to take some clippers, just trim it all off, but then I'll look like a giant baby. And
You
I'd
do
rather not.
like
Yeah,
I saw
weird.
the pictures on your laptop, man. You don't even look like the same guy.
I thought about because when I did the show when I did a theater up in Richmond, I had to shave a lot for certain shows, and if there was times people would be like, "Put it back on, put it back," or as soon as a weekend would
The
come up,
beard
I would.
suits you very
Thank
well.
you. I've
Very
had it for
well.
long enough. It didn't start growing until I was like 20 years old. It pissed me off. I was 18. I was like, Dad, I need to learn how to shave. And he was like, you're not going to want to do it. And I was like, but I'm 18 years old. I'm the only guy in my friends group that's not shaving. And I shaved, and then 10 years later, it's like, this sucks.
Yeah. So we might wear them. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we do plan to do live from the man cave.
I'm wearing a mask, bro.
in my exclusive.
What was that
man
hand
cave.
thing? Were you
I
trying
don't
to do a
even know.
quotation with
No,
all your
it
fingers
was, like,
went in?
creepy. I don't know.
You did like a
man.
mad scientist doing like
Yeah.
I
do mad scientist things
in my
in my
little
man cave.
crevice.
But so we'll be doing that Sunday. I think
exciting.
we had someone ask, shouldn't we do it after the episode? And the answer to that is no. We are purposely wanting to do it before for several reasons. One being we're not competing with the Talking Dead.
Right.
You know, I don't want to compete with that.
He's got his job. He doesn't interfere with us.
Right,
We don't wanna
and
interfere with him.
I like watching that myself. I try not to watch too much of it because I don't want to bite off of it when we're doing this. But I actually really enjoy the show. I usually watch like the first 10 minutes of it after the episode. So I mean, I don't really want to. And two, I like
hate
to
Chris what's his name? Chris Hardwick, but I respect him.
Yeah, I like to sit on these episodes for like a good. I like to sleep on them before I talk about it because like the episode where Herschel died, man. If I would have gone on and podcasted right after that episode when my emotions were still swirling, I was like, I'm done with this show. I'm never watching again. That would have just sounded like, you know what I mean? So I like to have a night to. And then when I woke up the next morning, I was like, God, that sucks. Herschel died, but what a good episode. You know, so I like to. So it's several reasons as to why. And two, we all have to get up and work in the morning. Matt and myself between 6 and 7 a.m. So
And it's like a 40-minute drive from your house to my house.
Yeah.
So it'd be a little late getting back.
So, you know, we're just going to do it before, like, leading up, and then what we'll do is we'll podcast Monday and discuss the episode.
That's a really cool idea.
So, you know, we'll do a pre-show. We'll do the pre-show, and then we'll watch the episode. Who knows? You know what I mean? If y'all want, I don't know if... I hate the reaction videos, though, because I feel like a lot of people that do those do them and try to be... You know what I mean?
Overreacting,
It's one thing
yeah.
if I'm filming you and you don't realize I'm filming you. I love those videos, but I can't stand the ones where someone like sets a camera up to film themselves reacting. I don't know. So it's a big thing. Lots of people enjoy watching it, so to each their own. But I just feel like people are hamming it up.
It's not reacting, it's acting.
Right. You're reacting in a way that you think that they want you to react.
Where on stage, it's not acting, it's reacting.
So
Isn't that
maybe
crazy?
what we can do is, you know, I'll see. We're kind of playing this by ear. Maybe we can keep the live stream going and we can type responses and stuff. You know what I mean?
Can we do that? Do we have that technology?
Yeah.
So we're going to be Facebook Living this
I think we're going to Facebook Live, and if you have not liked our Facebook, you need to go do that in order. I got to see. I think you can go live off of a page, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
If not, I'll tell you what, either way, what you need to do in order to be a part of our live podcast is to go over to the Facebook, like it, and then the information will be on that. I'll post that. I might even post a podcast with an update in a few days. But I would like to do Facebook Live. I feel like that would just be the easiest. It allows you guys to comment and all of that. But if not, there's several other options like YouNow, Ustream, yeah. So we'll figure it out. We got to get a good. We don't have a. We have a good web. We have a. Well, your webcam's better than mine, so we'll probably just use your webcam. But yeah, so
I got that handy cam. Do you think that would work?
no, not unless it's made. It plugs into the. You know.
I cover up the webcam on my computer. I was reading a study. Apparently, like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all these big ones, they cover it up because there's like black markets out in Russia and whatnot where they pay what is it, $1,000 for just one random webcam of a girl, of just a random U.S. woman. However, 10 men. If you get 10 men, it's like $500.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently, men don't bring in what. Or declare, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for is. But either way, just cover up your webcam when you're not using it.
What are they using our pictures for?
To do things to themselves.
What kind of things?
Like tattoos. Like they want to tattoo your face on it.
That was really good. That was good.
I try.
That was really good.
I try. But so, yeah, live podcast this Sunday at 8 o'clock. We're going to podcast for the hour leading up to, I promise I won't let Matt and JP get too intoxicated before we start, though. I can't promise.
Too intoxicated.
There won't be beverages. But we are going to talk about it leading up to it, just thoughts, predictions, and it'll be great to actually talk to you guys in real time.
I'm going to do a different alcohol, beverage, or drug every 5 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I'm glad I have control of his mic. But so, yeah, we'll be live from the Man Cave this Sunday night at 8 o'clock, the hour leading up to the podcast.
It's so exciting. We're back.
I know. I'm excited.
I mean, we never left, but we're back.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody that stuck with us. Like, we do have some, that comment that we will be seeing return once the show returns, and we love them just as much. But for those of you that have stuck with us in the off season, we very much appreciate you.
We're getting more comments and subscribers, like even during the off season. That's always very encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. So go like our Facebook. It's really easy to find. Just search the Podcasting Dead, and the link is actually in our description of this and every video. So click that. Go like the Facebook page. If you don't have a Facebook, just create a little, a BS page in order to like it. Because if we can go off of Facebook Live, that's just the way we're going to do it. I think that'll be 10 times easier. I think it, will just be easiest for everybody. Because any other way we do it, they're going to want you to start an account there. And,
right.
Facebook.
And with your Facebook, you can easily, if you're one of those diehard people that does not like Facebook, then just get it for the live podcast, delete your account right after it's over.
Or just use it whenever we do go live. Because if this goes good, which we've gotten a lot of positive response, I'm expecting to see a couple of you on there. We'll do this again.
And again and again.
Maybe we will do one if we can get enough of a following. Maybe we will do one after an episode. But right now we'll do it before. But so and ending this one, pretty much it was unanimous. Everyone thought Mama Shone would win a fight against Carol.
Yeah,
to which I was telling you though, I think a lot of people weren't considering all the options. Like we had said straight up, if they were just in a fist fight, no doubt that Carol's not tough, but we're pretty sure Michonne would beat her. If Michonne had her sword, no question she'd beat her. But the real question is, it just depends on the scenario. Like Carol wants Michonne dead, but that doesn't necessarily mean Carol's going to tell Michonne.
Takes time and patience.
I think it really depends on the scenario as to who would win. If it's just a straight up, hey, screw you, and they fist fight, obviously Michonne would take her. I mean, she's younger, she's healthier, she's more active. However, Carol can slyly kill a whole group of grown men, armed men on a truck, like it's so. I feel like if there was some planning to it,
Fight Club style, Michonne would win.
Right.
But Home Alone style,
Carol would win. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. But to each their own. We thank you so much for listening, and we hope to have you tuned in again this Sunday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Woo!
We are on the East Coast, so if you're on the West Coast, please plan accordingly. Which it's lucky for you. You don't even have to stay up that late to listen to us. Right?
Does The Walking Dead come on at 6:00? Was Pacific time?
I don't know.
Or does it come on at 9?
I don't know. That's a good question.
What's
that's another good reason we're doing it before the episode, because so for our West Coast listeners, you can tune in without being spoiled on the episode, I guess.
So nice.
So I don't know if you're on the West Coast. What time does it come on your time? Does it come on at 6 or does it come on at 8?
Did you guys know that in North Carolina
9? Sorry, does it come on at
they put
6 or
on
9?
Jeopardy before Wheel of Fortune? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Wait.
Where?
No. Okay. In North
Well, I know
Carolina,
in Charlotte.
Wheel of Fortune comes on at 7. Jeopardy comes on at 7:30.
Huh?
Yeah. Jeopardy comes on second.
Well,
And it's weird in other places, like in like the Midwest and stuff. Jeopardy comes on first.
I couldn't watch Jeopardy first.
I know.
couldn't
My
do
whole
it.
life I've watched Wheel of Fortune first.
But I have a friend from Charlotte, and we were watching it the other night, and he's like, "Yeah, where I live, it's Jeopardy first, then Wheel of Fortune."
In Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Oh, well, did we
All
get the
right,
answer wrong or
so-
something? Oh, sorry. What is Jeopardy? I apologize. I still didn't get it right. I don't know.
All right, so we thank you so much for listening, and we will hopefully see you Sunday. Be on the lookout. There may be a podcast to update you on how to connect with the live cast. Between now and then, go like our Facebook, keep up with it so that, we'll start using it more. I hadn't really been using our Facebook that much because it hadn't really gotten as much, I don't even think it's gotten to 100 likes yet. So go and like it up, and that's probably where we'll do the live podcast. And if we get enough people tuned in, Matt and I will not wear masks.
What?
How about that?
Matt wants to wear a
I
mask.
really just want to wear a mask.
Okay, well, if we get enough people tuned in, I won't wear a
I
mask.
bought this special mask for the 50 Shades Darker premiere, and I wanted to try it out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you know what?
Justin's already got the chains. And
Did
the
you see the
whips.
trailer? There's a helicopter crash in it. Okay. They're just trying. I'm sorry, real quick before we go, I just want to air my grievances. Sorry. Okay, I'll talk about it later. I just don't understand what's the purpose of having. I'm done.
Okay, so we will talk to you guys this Sunday or maybe
Yes.
before. I'm Justin.
I'm Matt.
JP.
Who is it? There
I'm
he is.
sorry.
Oh, that's close.